So I am back. I am back working on my Serbian home. One of the surprises is that there is no water, of course. It's the middle of August, and that was to be expected because it's just not raining at all. It is kind of looking like if a bomb exploded here, but soon I hope this will change into a beautiful new corner or piece of my property. And so let me show you what's happening. Since my rocky staircase was quite a success, I have decided to continue with my concrete works and make use of some of those slates that I have found somewhere on the old mountain next to the road. So I sorted them out and figured out that there is exactly the right place right here for them to be used. Since there was small leakage in the roof, it was slowly but surely destroying my mud wall and plaster. I had to basically bring it back to its core, get rid of all the extra lime paint, and this is the naked wall, which will have to be plastered again. But first, since there was this very ugly part of concrete, I leveled it out to make sure I have enough place to lay my slates. That will be surely amazing tiles in the future. This time around I decided to mix my concrete myself, so I was buying just pure cement and sand, and it turned out as same mixture as when I was buying the final product, the pre-mixed concrete. So I started laying down my slates, and one by one I was working my way through the whole floor. Because the weather is quite hot, my strategy was to work in the evening, which gives you maybe 3 hours of workable temperature and light. Because we are in the middle of August, darkness comes at around 8:30. And what is worse than darkness is the mosquitoes. So around 7:30 is the mosquito hour. There is obviously unlimited number of projects that can be worked on, one of which certainly has to be upgrade of this toilet. I plan to move it around somewhere to a different place, probably somewhere back to the garden, because I want to have a nice long shooting range here, because I like to shoot from my bow. Maybe, just maybe, these tiles and some of the wood could be used for a little terrace here. So let me know, guys, if you can imagine that being a good idea. That way I can have also some kind of scaffolding for a while, building my terrace, to maybe plaster this wall and paint it nice and white. But I am slowly coming to not an end, but to some kind of final stage of this property. This hobbit house took pretty much 2 seasons away from finishing off the other things and tasks that were planned. So this is the 5th or 6th season already. I'm not even sure anymore. It has been basically very nice learning curve for me to buy and improve this place, and I'm slowly looking for something maybe bigger, something where I don't have to just renovate things because of the logistics and everything. Here we are really sort of at the end of the world, so not being able to bring my car all the way to the property and you know, just the investments to really make this accessible and everything, to make better road, makes it impossible for me to do this place the favor of reaching its maximum potential. And so maybe one day this place will be looking for a new owner. There is now the seasonal water, at least. The drinking water is still running just 100 meters away. So with some sort of water capturing system, this place can be all year round comfortable place to exist. And so who knows, maybe one day I will make a video that hunting lodge in the middle of nowhere in Serbia is up for sale, but for that you might have to wait a little bit still. So yes guys, since we are running into end of summer, there is still few months left where, if interested, you can make use of my services and find yourself a similar place like this. You know, over the years of living here, I have made enough connections to be able to facilitate the purchase of a house fairly easily. Sometimes, if things are prepared in advance, it is literally just 1 week investment holiday. You basically come, look at few properties and pick the right one. The rest can be done without your presence even, you know, powers of attorneys and things like that. So this is all possible. We have, or I have, few people already lined up till the end of the year, but there could be a place to fit for 1 or 2 more. So if that's something of your interest, there is an email in the description, or you can arrange something for the next year. Spring is the best time to scope for property. In fact, I am always on the lookout for houses, not just in the springtime. And a few days ago I have spotted a new location where few interesting cheap houses popped up, and so I thought, instead of just talking about it, I'll take you with me. Plenty of old houses around here. Seems like there is a river down here. That's quite cool. I have never been at this part of the region. I was always passing by this left turn on my way to Niš and back, but I never went here. And it's amazing. It's quite popular for hikers and climbers here because of the mountain. I mean, it's really quite nice. So this must be the village already. I guess it's gonna be quite hard to locate the property itself. There are 2 houses for sale as far as I have seen online. Maybe I should just park the car and go by walking. Wow, wouldn't this be nice? It seems like that I have reached end of the road. One side of the village. There might be few more streets that I just cannot find, but I will include photos of the houses that are for sale. Sometimes you really do have to contact the people to find out where the house is, because it can be just, you know, few meters, few 100 meters away from the village, and for that reason it's super difficult to find. But I will see, I will check another street as well. This is obviously the end. Unfortunately, from the photos available, it is impossible to locate the house. My only indication is that it is next to a river, which should be here. There are some, I mean, there are houses to be adopted everywhere. But yeah, like every second house is abandoned, so it can be anything. And they didn't really make a nice picture from outside, so hard to say. But the village overall looks nice and clean. There is this view of the mountain everywhere, so it is honestly quite a cool place. So it might be this actually. There is such a bad description and photos that I can't really say, but this is the only property next to the river. They said the parcel is directly next to the river, so I'm just assuming it could be this. Obviously, I'm not sure. This is just how I am doing my processes. I first visit a village, see how is the atmosphere, and then if it's any good, I get to contact the owners. So as you can see, sometimes it is not that easy even to locate the property, so oftentimes you have to go to the village or place a few times, or try to call the owner and navigate with them, ask them for coordinates. So it's sometimes very time consuming, and that's where my services can be of help to you, because if you pay for my service, I have motivation to actually investigate deeper. Not like today when I just wanted to give you an example, but it is nice, interesting little village. And if I didn't have house already, I would be quite interested. And so this is the final result. It was 4 days in the making, costed 40 euros for sand and cement. I'm still not walking over it because that part is fresh. I finished it yesterday in the evening. And I call it a success. Let me know in the comments if you have any experience doing this kind of work, so I can maybe learn some tips and tricks. And I'm looking forward seeing you in another video.